Hey, Ellie here. Today, let's talk about the Zettelkasten, or the personal knowledge management as a communication partner, and maybe thinking about it in terms of being a chatbot. Let's talk about that today. Hmm. Hello, hello. Hey, I'm Ellie. I'm Customer Experience Head in the Digital Transformation Office in one of the largest conglomerates in the Philippines, and the founder of a user experience design community based in the Philippines. Today, I'm talking about, the Zettelkasten and the chatbot. What is a Zettelkasten? If you're not familiar with the Zettelkasten, it is basically a slip box. And this concept of the Zettelkasten or communication slip boxes uh, came from Niklas Luhmann. Niklas Luhmann is famous for building a Zettelkasten of 90,000 cards for his research, enabling him to write 70 books and 400 scholarly articles. Now, one of the key points in here, Nicholas Luhman, an empirical account with slip boxes, is that a slip box must act like a communication partner. We use it is basically a communication. Slip box are partners of communication. First, about technical right here, yeah. Um, it is it is impossible to think about writing, to think without writing. At least it is impossible in any sophisticated network fashion. Somehow we must mark differences and capture distinctions, which are either explicit or implicitly or explicitly contained in concepts. Now, what does this mean? It means basically that a Zettelkasten are your collection of your own personal thoughts that you place in a Zettel in your slip note, your own personal ideas. Now, when you do this and when you start to viewing your notes, it becomes now a communication partner that talks to you about things that you have collected before. And this is actually what's happening to me right now when I started working on this video, because these are all Zettels that I've collected in the past months. And basically, I've been connecting all this, and able to tell a story. What's cool about having a Zettel like this is that you instantly get feedback by connecting ideas, connecting notes. So when you're able to get immediate feedback, it is as easy for you to get to a state of flow. When you're working on something, you get to a state of flow, and it's like exploring. It's like going through a maze of your own list of different ideas and looking at discovering things that you already found before. And what's interesting is if you start communicating this in different modes of thinking, not just uh, explaining concepts, but explaining it in various different methods, like telling stories, which I'll get more about, or comparisons, analogies, illustrations. When you use different techniques, you're able to see it from a different perspective and create new ideas, become more creative. That's why stories have become more relevant, applying the concepts in a context that is now relevant for you personally. And that's why I think um, what I what I'd like to explore now is a Zettelkasting as your own chatbot. So I'd like to see how we can develop it as a personal chatbot, because basically it's like a communication partner. And if you're talking to someone, and so imagine a scenario that having drinks with someone in a bar, and you learn from each other. There's social learning by telling each other jokes or telling each other stories or sharing each other some concepts. The same the same thought can be thought about in Zettelkasten. The reason why Zettelkasten works is that you are having a conversation with yourself, who knows what who has memories of what you have studied before that you might have forgotten. I think that's what makes Zettelkasten really effective. How person like Niklas Luhman's able to maximize it. So what he does is these notes, he organizes it as step by step. So it's like reading a story. You start off with a concept, moves forward, you make connections, and you can jump from one connection to the next. And that tells you a story that you are able to you're able to synthesize ideas, you're able to make connections. So I like one of the nice movie that's relevant here is if you look at a movie like um, The Usual Suspects, where spoiler alert, at the end of Usual Suspects, the um, police officer was interviewing the suspect, and he made an assumption based on the story told by the suspect. This is Kevin Spacey, and to him it all made sense. And then when he let the suspect go, turned around and started thinking of seeing some of the words, the keywords that the person he just interviewed um, started to show in his board, in different parts of his board. And then he started to make a connection that this person was lying to me. And all the things that he was talking about Kaiser Soze, who is Kaiser Soze, were all made up from the connections in the board. He made those connections. It's just like that. It's like telling a story about and making connections. That feeling is creates a state of flow that makes you. It's like solving a puzzle, a problem. That's what makes it fun. The land is useful suspects. And develop this idea further. I wanted to stream about it today to communicate to plant the seed of the Zettelkasten as a chatbot. And even these videos are like my personal Zettels in thinking about how we can organize my thoughts in video format so I can review it in the future. Think about what things make sense, think about things that can be developed further. Right? So think about that. A Zettelkasten is a communication partner. So imagine making your communication partner more efficient. Maybe thinking of making it your own chatbot, someone you can talk to. So that's the next level. If you can make it a chatbot, and you're feeling sad and you just need someone to talk to, or you're trying to connect concepts together, the chatbot can do it for you. And it's the starting point of something more amazing. Let's explore this idea together. If you have ideas or suggestions, let's make connections. Let's explore it a bit more. Let's solve this problem together of personal knowledge management. I think it's very interesting to play around with this idea. Right, that's me, Ellie. If you found this useful, take a look at my other videos on Zettelkasten and design, and you'll see more info about that. That's it for today. Enjoy your day. If your day will be as awesome as you are, and bye-bye for now.